There is this story that I find really, really immoral. I find the people who are making people feel this way immoral. Now, may I ask you, I was the perpetrator of a giant con on the American people, and I was just trying to make them afraid. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And that was really bad, to be a fearmonger and to make people afraid. A growing body of evidence suggests climate change activists the world over are increasingly suffer from eco-anxiety, experiencing mental health episodes triggered by the stress of worrying about the Earth's pending doom from global warming. In order to combat, listen to that. Listen to that. In order to combat the condition, climate anxiety support groups are cropping up, according to the Daily Beast, and the seats are filling up. The Beast reported the rise of climate anxiety groups in the U.S., calling the gatherings the new self-care. In order to meet the rise in demand, counselors and clinicians are getting trained up on how to treat this special group of patients, and I believe they are really special, who feel weighed down by the doom and gloom surrounding the movement. So here's what. Well, let me just finish it because I got to get to a couple of the quotes. More than 250 people now have participated in Good Grief, the 10-step eco-anxiety support program, which mimics the structure of Alcoholics Anonymous. Think of that. They need a program like AA to be able to control the fear that the earth is doomed. Activist Lin Wang told the outlet that she decided to launch a support group after becoming overwhelmed by the climate crisis last year. People would say, now listen to this, listen to the circle of friends. People would say, isn't it great that the world is ending in 12 years? What? Who would say that? Who would say that? Isn't it great the world is going to end in 12 years? But it's in the back of people's minds, and it's constantly over our heads. There is a real fear for the next generation thinking about the future. I can't imagine planning for the future when we only have 12 years. This is immoral. What the media, what the politicians, and everyone else is doing to our fellow citizens and humans.
And so dangerous. What's going to happen when you haven't planned beyond 12 years and then all of a sudden we're beyond 12 years and we're still here? Really dangerous.
It is.
And there's a lot of people who believe it.
They were
wholeheartedly.
They are starting an eco-anxiety 12-step program.
It's unbelievable.
The press should probably question itself. The media and the politicians they needed to have an enemy. They needed to have a bad guy to be able to take down capitalism. And so they invented, it's bigger than World War II, they invented their own Hitler. And their own Hitler is anything that hurts the climate. And they have scared people to the point to where they believe they only have 12 years to live. Imagine if I said to you that there is a cult where millions of people are now believing there's only 12 years to live, and they're changing everything in their life because they believe this. Do you think there would be an outcry from the left?
You know there would, because there's been people like that.
Yes, and there should be.
And they've been mocked.
There should be.
And disparaged.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. And the press is responsible. But it's not just the press, it's the politicians as well. Mm-hmm. Up in New York, they are now allowing school children.
Yeah, to go on strike Friday. School districts were debating what position to take when after New York City announced 1.1 million public school children could skip classes without any penalties to join the global youth climate strike on Friday.
Unbelievable.
1 million kids are going to leave school on Friday. And, half of them, 3/4 of them just want to get out of school.
Yeah. My kids, if my kids came home and said their school was doing this, and Dad, I can leave school on Friday, I'd say, no. You're going to go to school on Friday, and we're leaving that school on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's Enough.
And you wonder why these kids are so propagandized, why they believe it so much, why they're so afraid, why they're scared out of their minds.
Why they're committing suicide? There's nothing of importance. Right. You have nothing to live for. Think of the message. You're telling them their world is burning up all around them. Yeah, and there's not going to be any food. There's not going to be any. There's not going to be any animals. There's the people are going to starve. It's going to be nonstop.
Trees, oxygen's being burned up. I mean, they've heard it all.
I mean, that is terrifying. And then on top of it, you have the real crisis of, hey, I don't know what's going to happen with freedom. And you can't say that's the right conspiracy. Really? Is it? Because I hear that from the left as well. They don't know what their jobs are going to be like. They don't know if they're going to be able to even afford college, or if they do, if it's going to be just be an anchor around their neck. Can you imagine what it is like to be a kid in today's world?